just outside of San Antonio today, in a small town, someone pulled out an automatic weapon and killed 27 people in a Baptist church, the First Baptist Church of this town. We don't yet know what the motivation is. The individual who did this was killed. Hypothetically, if we were to discover that this was some prominent member of a local atheist community who had decided to target a church, how would you respond to this shooting?
These things are so appalling. I don't think I want to get into hypotheticals like that. I think we don't know what happened. And my immediate reaction is to be obviously horrified and to feel this person is surely going to be insane, and every country has its lunatics, and the difference is that in the United States there are so many guns around that lunatics can get hold of guns. And so I almost don't want to ask what the motive is, because I don't think such an appalling act has a thing you could call a motive anyway. This is just a nut who has managed to get hold of a gun, and it's going to go on and on happening as long as guns are so readily available in the United States. And so I think the only lesson I would wish to draw from it is, for goodness sake, United States, sort out your gun problem.
And I certainly echo a great deal of the sentiment there. The reason I was kind of hoping to get to hypothetical is because invariably we don't tend to find that this is the case. There's everything inside of me wants to say, oh yeah, that's such an unlikely possibility that we just shouldn't even bother with it. But I would like to think that the broader secular humanist community would very quickly and easily just denounce all forms of violence and violence threats along these lines, to show that we're in a different headspace than, for example, if it was a rival church or something along those lines. You may be correct about whether or not he was, or what his mental capabilities were, but the reason it struck me was I had a debate with the debate that we spoke about the other night. The preacher who knows nothing about evolution was talking about banging sticks and rocks together to get puppies. And he's reported that since the debate's been posted, he's received threats of death threats and violence threats. And I immediately posted on Facebook a statement saying that, if it's anybody who's a fan or a follower of mine, go the fuck away. You are part of the problem. I don't need you. I don't want you advocating for violence and other stuff. I'm not sure I believe his claim, but I wanted to make a distinction between how we are going to respond to violent acts, because there's nothing within atheism or secularism, there's no ideology that would encourage someone to enact.
No, of course not. I mean, that's absolutely right. And if it was a follower of ISIS, then we could say he probably isn't insane. I mean, if it was a follower of ISIS doing something like this, then it's done because he thinks it's the righteous thing to do. He thinks he's doing the will of his God. He thinks he's going to earn a place in heaven, in paradise, because he has slain some infidels and gone to a martyr's heaven or whatever it is. So there is a perfectly logical progression going from certain kinds of religious belief to these horrible acts of mass murder. There simply is not a logical progression that goes from atheism to doing any such thing. And so if it incidentally happened to be somebody whose philosophical position, insofar as such a person could have a philosophical position, was atheism, it would be utterly irrelevant. This would just be a sick individual who has a gun. So that, although it's possible to formulate a logical progression from religious belief of a certain kind to violent murder, there is no logical progression that goes from atheism to violent murder. How could there be?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.